going to read the crucifixes. Some of you know them, and some of you will be new to them. Crucifix 1. If you want a forest, you're going to have to pull it out of my feet, out of my skin, out of the veins jumping with exhaustion, out of the hollows of my bones, chalkiness of them frightening. You're going to have to stand my body on a rock, nail my hands to the wheeling stars, let my tendons turn and twist and knot. Let the wind and standing dark solidify for centuries. Unzip the blue skin around my fingernails, dangle it sideways in the sun, pluck and nick and pull my chest, back, arms, neck, thighs. Bundle the glimmering collection of ribs that hang now dry as rattles, score them lengthwise, bury them parallel and parallel and parallel. Lie me on the earth. Go back in with 12-inch needle nose pliers, cast aside the spleen and liver and calcified mush. Go straight to the cracked black stone of my heart. Rewater and restore it. Warm it with your lips. Hope it still contains the soft, complex stem cell of the world. This is Crucifix 3. Sorry. I am ignoring you, Curtis. Happy birthday.
Part of the problem is it's too close. Sorry. I think it was too close to it. See, now it's that's probably right.
Yeah. Is it better?
Good, thank you. Crucifix 3. Oh, haul out the fantasy of love, the open lips, the small rye brown yielding breast, and direct it at me. Send me eyes and tongue, to lip and tongue, the valley of ghosts at my neck, the sagging sacks of unborn putti further down. Send me the fantasy of regard and cherishing, the wrinkled satin plumping under the hand, billowing downwards to the smallest eye. Send me the final fantasy of adoration, mouths open with praise and softness, the touch like veined silver in the skin. Oh, cover me with mouths, while the white afternoon takes me apart. Crucifix 4. So here I hang or stand, lashed or nailed to this fine piece from Bethlehem wood and steel, and there you are, centurion. I've seen you before and guessed where you shouldn't have been. Most of those eye whites puddling out from my feet have seen me before too. They've come to watch the death of God, come to see what saw them as they are, squirm in his turn. And the rest have come to see the marvellous artist, carpenter, architect, founder of the Dead Sea School, all organic heat-treated mud, the very bend and flow of thought and water, glass like air made visible, and cry out at the final cessation of the contract as though they'd never complained about the cabinet joints when the villa was finished. Oh no, we can't pay for that. Genius doesn't work for love of money, it works because it must. As though I hadn't seen the whisk of Roman cloaks around the corners, figured out the high holy day scams, and kept my mouth shut anyway. Genius works because it must. As though the Spirit of God could never finally stop transforming the world and possibility, no matter what they did to God, the world, and possibility. If you put me to death, you put me to death. And inherit the noontime, the sun, a circle of unhappy wives, The cliffs carved stairways of vision-twisted saints howling for God, while rivers of blood and marble continue to flow within them, and wives and heretics continue to burn above them, and wind and sand continue to blow around them. Oh, let me die alone. Your God is a lie you tell each other, and so your touch is pain. Crucifix 5. What is this prison on the skin? This wall, this sagging, this crawling of pipes and downspouts and torn metal housings, this jellied mortar, this open-work netting, this gritty constraint. What is this rain-soaked plaster, this paste of gravel, this dereliction? The world on my skin is tears. I am prevented by stone. Crucifix 6. Stretch me, the line that binds the roundness of the world, runs arm to arm of me, wrist to wrist. Leave my breastbone open to the birds. Let livid blue mountaintops rise beneath my nipples. Let the sky drink from me. Let its beak peck fire from the land between my hips. Let clouds appear over my holes. Let the high waters stand on the shelf behind the alkali skull. Crucifix 7. Track me through love's broken shell, its open hollows, its murdered ass, its cast-off elbows, its thin, abandoned skin. Track me through this flesh-red rubble. I have fallen with the rain. I am less than smoke. And the arithmetic poems. My father worked at General Motors 1938 to 1966. He retired after 28 years. The previous 10 had been spent in the Great Depression. No work, little work, fear. So far I've worked 36 years. 2008 minus 1971 minus 1. But my father worked 30 hours a week, and I worked 40. So for every 4 years my father worked, I've worked 5 since coming to the States. 2008 minus 1982 divided by 4 equals 6.3 plus 26 equals 31.3. So altogether I've worked 1982 minus 1971 minus 1, 1 equals part-time, looking for work, etc. Plus 31.3 equals 41.3 years. And I have to work another 10 equals 12.5 barring death, equals 53.8. I want to devour the midnight and the morning. I want the creaminess of cloud. I want the secret life of flames. How much time?
You have time for at least one more.
All right. The sky is raining clouds into medication. Morning is broken, only 2 megs remaining. I must write away. Belmont Chevron, 1802. Pacific Power, 49.59. Aero Sanitary, 41.95. Northwest Natural, 32.41. Band-Aid Medical, 422.02. Band-Aid Dental, 63.61. Ambient Properties, $700. Belmont Chevron, 22.02. Protection Services, 92.85. Portland City Water, 148.34. Band-Aid Medical, 422.02. Band-Aid Dental, 63.61. I must write away. Belmont Chevron, 27.05. Band-Aid Medical, 422.02. Band-Aid Dental, 63.61. Ambient Properties, $700. I must write away for $20. The idea of America is a mail-in rebate. The idea of America is a flickering screen. The idea of America is a toy from China. The idea of America is a gaping warehouse. The idea of America is a condo conversion. The idea of America is no work forever. The idea of America is camouflage gear. The idea of America is go, go, go. The idea of America is a medevac liftoff. The idea of America is a burning jungle. The idea of America is an empty sky. The idea of America is death in the desert. The idea of America is an automatic weapon. The idea of America is urban warfare. The idea of America is fighting for crumbs. The idea of America is justice denied. The idea of America is a mechanised wheat field. The idea of America is a free-floating billboard. The idea of America is to steal what you rescue. The idea of America is a sunset to ride to. The idea of America is only one limousine. The idea of America is its own Fifth Amendment. The idea of America is a helicopter swapping. The idea of America is special forces now. The idea of America is an airborne disease. America's the other side of the wind.